Hey, so I did my philosophy and sociology exam today. Well, the education part of sociology. So I've just got ethics, developments, crime, and families left to do on education on on my exams. Um, I think they went alright. I feel like they went alright. I'm not getting my hopes up too much. I don't want to aim too high because I've done that before and then I've been disappointed when I haven't got those grades. And plus I've already done them, so yeah, I've just got what I've got. I'll be happy with anything above a C, which I think I might have done for them both. I hope. The philosophy essays were a little bit difficult because some of the questions they were quite ambiguous. Like one of them was about David Hume's criticisms of I can't remember it of knowledge of God through experience. How successful was he? And I knew that this was about the teleological argument and the cosmological argument, but I chose not to do that one because of the way it was worded, and it was like I don't know, I just didn't feel like I liked the question. So no, I did the other three, which were on. They didn't have the one on language that I wanted, but they did have a language question. I would have been really happy with uh, a verification question because I've revised it so much. But we got one on. I think it was like assess the view that the apophatic way is the best way of analysing religious language. So that was easy. Like all you've got to do is you've got to go through all of the different ways of analysing religious language or all of the different linguistic approaches, and then we'll conclude as to which one's best and whether and then you can say well whether or not the cataphatic way was the best way. And I concluded that it wasn't, and that symbolism was the best way with Paul Tillich. And then so I did that one. I did one on religious experience, and thank God I just revised religious experience this morning because I haven't done anything on it for ages. So I just had a look at it, and yeah, I just watched a few videos on it this morning from other people, and yeah, I think it helped a little bit. But it was mainly focused on corporate religious experience, but it was also individual. So it said assess. I can't remember exactly. It was something along the lines of assess the view that corporate religious experiences are less reliable than individual religious experiences. So you just explore the arguments for both sides really, and then conclude. So that question was alright. Couldn't really do much creativity with any of the questions to be honest, especially the question on Boethius, which was so something to do with divine eternity, allowing for human free will or something like that. And because it had free will in the question, it's like, well, yeah, God's divine eternity allows for our free will because God doesn't intervene. He exists outside of space and time, so God doesn't intervene. Therefore, we do have free will. And you talk about the man walking on the sunny day. The man chooses to walk, therefore he has free will. God doesn't make him do that. So you can't really say anything. So I just had to like focus most of my things onto criticisms, but they weren't necessarily related to free will. It was more about how Boethius makes God into quite a deist figure rather than being the Christian God. And also by him saying that God doesn't intervene, that contradicts the Christian scriptures because God becomes embodied by Jesus, like, or God works through Jesus at least. And Jesus is God's son, so he must have intervened in somewhere for that to actually happen, unless he wants to discount that area of the scripture. But that seems to be quite an important part of religious scripture and of Christianity. So he doesn't seem to take a very Christian approach to his theory on God. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I did sociology this afternoon, which I didn't really revise for, I'm gonna be honest. I found it relatively easy considering. The 30 marker was quite nice. I actually like that 30 marker. It was on class differences in education. And then we had an item as well, so like that gives you a lot of clues as to what to write. That was probably my favourite question out of the whole thing. Well, of the whole sociology paper. And then there was a question on functionalist theory, a question on class differences in crime, but it was a 4 marker. No, it wasn't, it was a 6 marker. Or was it a 4 marker? I think it was a 4 marker. Can't remember. So there was a lot on class and crime. I mean, a class and education. Yeah, I think it went alright. It was a pretty nice paper. There was an awkward question. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't really enjoy it. It was probably the functionalist theory one, actually, how it's not relevant to society today. And I should have wrote about research methods because they use a macro approach, and that's not necessarily applicable to modern day society because postmodernism has made society become so diverse that you can't really take a macro approach to analysing society because you're not going to get a representative sample because we're all so different and due to individualism. So yeah, I should have wrote about that, but I didn't. That would have got me a few more marks. Anyway, I'm hoping for a C in philosophy. I'm hoping for a C in sociology, which I think I might have got. My teacher said you need at least half marks to get a C, so I think I can't see myself as getting less than half marks in that question, in that paper. And philosophy, I'll be happy with a C, but I'd like a B. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up too much because I don't want to be disappointed. Yeah. Anyway, those two are over. My next exam is on Monday, and that's for ethics. So I'll probably be making a lot of ethics revision videos over the next week or so. But I was just about to make my dinner, and I don't know what happened, but I turned the oven on. It was on for about like 3 minutes or something, and then the electricity just tripped out, and I don't have a clue how to turn it back on. So I'm gonna have to wait till 9:30 for my mum to get home, so I can eat my dinner. And I can't watch TV. I can't watch YouTube. I can't go on the internet on my phone unless I want to use up my data, but I don't want to do that. So I don't honestly know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sit here. I might read. I've got 30 pages left in my book that I said. Oh, someone just came in. I think it was my cat. Yeah, it was. I love her. Yeah, so I've got 30 pages left in my book that I said I was going to read through at the weekend, but I didn't end up doing. So I think that is probably what I'm going to do right now. But I might eat this chocolate bar first because they're my favourite ones, and they're vegan. Unless you say things that may contain milk aren't vegan, but that doesn't mean that they've got milk in them. That just means that they could have been cross-contaminated. And I don't want to reduce myself down to eating absolutely nothing, so I will eat things that say they may contain milk because it's not an active ingredient. It's not actually being put in. It just means that it might have been made in a factory with other products which do contain animal products, which probably isn't good to be buying food from those companies which also support factory farming, but I like Fry's chocolate creams. And also it's not as bad as actually buying products which are eaten by... I don't want to think about this too much. I feel like I do my bit enough. I can eat things that may contain milk or may contain other products, but not things that actually do. Is it weird that my cat's my best friend? That's not weird. Okay, right, thanks for watching. I'm going to hope somehow that a miracle happens, or that the house has a religious experience and that the electricity magically comes back on. That would make me really happy because then I can go make my dinner, my tea, and I can make my tomorrow's dinner as well. Otherwise I'm going to have to spend £3 on wraps again, which I sort of wish I didn't do because I bought too many. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm not going to be able to upload this video. But it's alright. It's alright. Nothing to worry about ever. No worries. Okay, bye.